Hey folks, in today's video I'm going to give you all the details on how I permanently installed a PRV, a pressure regulating valve, some people call them pressure reducing valves, in my RV along with a water filter, both permanent so that you don't have to carry around these guys anymore. And to start things out, I'll give you a quick sneak peek so that you know what this video is going to be all about. You can see right up in there is the PRV. And then over here is the water filter. And these mods were both featured in a recent video I did, 36 different upgrades and mods here on my travel trailer. So if you didn't catch that, definitely check it out. I'll put a card up. But I think this is the fourth RV that I've done this particular mod on. But this time I did something a little bit different. As you probably saw from the title and figured out already, I used a PRV that has SharkBite fittings on both sides. Now, before you scroll down and fill the comment section with hate for SharkBite fittings, let me explain further. I do realize there is some controversy using SharkBite fittings depending on the circles you run in, especially in residential applications and houses, let alone an RV. So why would I install a PRV with SharkBite fittings in my RV, right? What advantages are there? And so let me give you 3 reasons. Previously, and by that I mean about probably 2 years ago or so, I did another video, and this was early on in the YouTube channel when I was just really starting out, but I did another video on a permanent PRV and permanent water filter install in a 5th wheel, and then also a small overlanding trailer. I kind of tag teamed between the two, but I did the more conventional method using these PEX crimp rings or clamp rings, and these are pretty much standard in the RV industry. These are going to be used in probably 95% or more of RVs that are made, and so I used that in that previous video, and I'll put a card up if you wish to see that one. But I figure this time, this series with this travel trailer, I'm trying to do more DIY, simpler, easier mods and upgrades for my audience. And so I thought, why not do something a little bit different here and use a PRV with SharkBite fittings, because I think that's pretty much something that anyone can do, and it's not as intimidating perhaps as these crimp rings. Second reason is, and by the way guys, this second reason is really what sold me on using this in my RV, but that second reason is with a conventional PRV, just like this one here that you would put in a house, probably a smaller house, but with a conventional PRV on either end, on the inlet right here and then the outlet on the opposite side, typically there's going to be a threaded collar instead of the SharkBite fittings. And so with that threaded collar, then you adapt to whether you're connecting to copper pipe or PEX pipe. And so you have metal threads on either end of the PRV. And sometimes it can be tricky when you're doing metal on metal threads to get that to seal up properly. And without going into too much detail, that basically is another point where you could get a real slow drip. And so what I really like about this particular PRV is there's no fitting or collar or anything between the body of the PRV and the SharkBite fittings. And so there's no chance for it to leak. I mean, basically you're just connecting your 1/2-inch PEX from the RV on the in and the out, and that's it. There's not a second threaded collar somewhere for it to drip. And so I really like that because it's one less opportunity for something to go wrong. And then third, I do think that the SharkBite fittings, they get a bad reputation sometimes when they leak or fail, when in reality it's because they weren't installed properly to begin with. And it is a DIY product, and so it is very simple. Really anybody can use one of these, and yet there are very specific instructions you got to follow to make sure that they're installed properly, such as making sure the pipe is fully inserted all the way into the fitting so that it gets a good grab on it. And I'll talk about that more later in the video, but I do wonder if that is perhaps to blame, that they're just not installed properly sometimes, and that's why they get a bad reputation. And I'm not a plumber, but I've probably installed, I don't know, maybe 50 or more different SharkBite fittings over the last decade. It's not my go-to fitting on DIY projects around the house, but I have used them before. I do think there's a time and place for them. And I've never had a single one leak on me, none of them ever. But I've always been really careful to mark my pipe when I insert it there with the right depth, and that way I can make sure that it's fully inserted. And by the way guys, I've been testing this setup here for about 9 months, about 1,500 miles. I mean, most of our trips are shorter local trips, and I've had 0 issues so far with this setup using the SharkBite PRV, and I'll talk more about that later in the video. But really I just wanted to share those are the 3 main reasons why I selected the SharkBite PRV. Really that number 2, you know, not having the extra fittings involved was a major selling point. But next I want to talk about the benefits of having a permanent PRV and water filter, and I'll give you some close-ups of the install details. I mean, obviously I think the main benefit of having a permanent PRV and a water filter is that you never have to worry about setting them up or tearing them down. You never have to worry about forgetting these and leaving them behind. It's permanent. You know, once you install it in your RV, it's done. It's one less thing you got to set up and tear down. And I think that really is my favorite feature because it just simplifies the whole camping experience. But secondly, and to be fair, this one really could apply to both a permanent PRV inside your RV like mine here or a portable, but that is a PRV protects your RV. And by that I mean at some campsites, they just have abnormally high water pressure. I like to carry around one of these, and so sometimes I'll check at the campsite before I hook up and just see what is the raw water pressure coming out of the hydrant. And I mean, sometimes it can be 120, 140, or even higher than that. And sometimes it can fluctuate. Maybe one day it's 60 and the next day it's 100. And so you really want to protect your RV from that abnormally high water pressure with a pressure regulating valve. And I often wonder, by the way, you know, when you read on forums, people complaining about leaks developing, especially slow leaks developing inside their RV. I often wonder if they have always used a PRV, or if perhaps those leaks are the result not of the manufacturer installing the pipes improperly or using the wrong fittings, but maybe they exposed their RV to excessively high pressure over time, and that caused the fittings to leak. And so really, these protect your RV. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I also like that the PRV is on the inside of the RV here. It's protected against freezing, and so if you do some winter camping, you don't have to worry about that PRV freezing out at the hydrant or the pedestal. So I like that a lot. But then another big thing is, you know, this is basically a residential PRV. And so it's going to be more robust in regulating the water pressure compared to one of these more common guys. I mean, this is really what I think most dealers give out as kind of a starter kit with your RV when you buy it. And these will cut the pressure down, but they're not going to regulate it. I mean, sometimes it might cut the pressure down too low, whereas something like this is going to be more robust with a full body to regulate that pressure, and also make sure that if the pressure is lower to begin with, that it's not cutting it down further. And again, once you install it, you never have to worry about setting up a PRV or a water filter at your campsite. So it just really simplifies everything. In fact, this is really one of my favorite upgrades, to the point that, like I said, I've done it on the last 4 RVs that I've owned, but it's one of the first upgrades that I do right out of the gate. I like it that much. But next, let me give you the install details and some close-ups of everything. And guys, of course, this is going to vary a little bit from RV to RV. I mean, I think I've got a pretty standard layout right here, especially if you have a towable. I think you'll be able to take what you see here and apply it to your RV as well. But that being said, really the first thing to do is to figure out your layout as far as where you're going to put the PRV and where you're going to locate the water filter. And so you can see on my RV right here, I've got my water inlet, my city inlet. And by the way, all the plumbing in RVs is typically going to be 1/2-inch PEX. And so I've got a water inlet on the outside, which is your garden hose thread. But then on the opposite side of this wall, you can see there is a 1/2-inch threaded connection that transitions to the 1/2-inch PEX. And that's going to be pretty standard. I think the last 2 or 3 RVs I've owned have had this, you know, some variation of a Nautilus panel. And so a lot of RVs are using that. So that's really where everything starts. And you can see that I basically just elbowed up and then went straight into the PRV. I mean, you want to try to catch the PRV as soon as possible, because you don't want high pressure going into your RV and, you know, meandering all the way around and then getting to the PRV. You want to try to pick that up pretty quick. And so you can see it just goes up and straight into that PRV. And then it elbows across the top here, and then I put the filter on the opposite side over here, which may seem like an odd location. You know, why not just put the water filter all together in the little mini wet bay over here, right? And this being a smaller trailer, I really like how they put the water connections inside and gave this little mini wet bay, but it is pretty compact and tight. And so I really couldn't find a good spot to mount it where it wouldn't impair and, you know, cause congestion in this area. And so then I thought about putting it right here as well, but the way this door is located right here, if I were to put the filter right next to it here, that would impair my ability to get these bins in and out of here because of the way the door is kind of offset. And so I looked at my space here and I said, hey, really this is dead space over here, the way it curves up with the front cap there. And so might as well take advantage of that and put the water filter over there. And this time you can see I used one with a clear housing. And I think that's really neat because then you can see the condition of your filter. And typically I replace this, you know, every 6 months or so, but it just gives you some good visibility. I really like that a lot. And of course up top, it has a pressure relief button up there. And then it's just really easy to mount up along your, you know, rails. I mean, most travel trailers especially are going to have some kind of rails with a bed being above here, above the storage compartment. And so it just makes it really, you know, secure to mount up there. And so basically it comes out of the PRV into the water filter and then back up out of the water filter and then connects back on to the rest of the water that supplies the travel trailer. And this is just a standard residential 10-inch water filter housing. I mean, you can do any brand here. You can put any cartridge inside of it, just a standard 10-inch cartridge. Some cartridges are going to be more for filtering sediment, things like that, and then others are going to be more for taste, like chlorine, things like that. So you can pick what kind of cartridge you want to put in here. I mean, some people even do 2 or 3 of these in line. I like just one because I like the flow to be nice and strong still. But I mean, even the filter that's in this guy right here is going to be far more powerful in terms of how it filters out small particles compared to one of these guys that's inline. So I really like that a lot. And depending on the way that the manufacturer does your plumbing in your RV with your freshwater tank, in mine, with this Nautilus panel right here, I've got a little switch for city water or tank fill. And so actually the water goes through this filter when I use that to fill up my freshwater tank. And so that's kind of another added bonus, is that I always get filtered water even if I'm using it out of my freshwater tank. Now let me quickly address kind of an elephant in the room, so to speak. You know, I've been talking about these SharkBite fittings, but then you probably notice that I use the more conventional PEX crimp rings or clamp rings on all the other fittings, the elbows, these threaded connections and everything else. And really that's just a matter of preference. You could technically do SharkBite fittings all the way around because they make them on everything from elbows to threaded fittings. But the SharkBite fittings are more expensive, and so that's something to factor in. And so you certainly could, but because I have a lot of these fittings laying around and I have the tools, I went ahead and just did everything else in the more conventional fittings. But that being said, let me demonstrate real quickly how to properly install one of these SharkBite fittings, because like I said earlier in the video, I do think they get a bad reputation sometimes because they're not installed properly. And so what I've done here on my sample pipe is I first have made a mark right here, basically a depth indicator, how deep this pipe needs to slide into this PEX fitting. And you can see it goes in really deep. So for 1/2-inch PEX, it's just under 1 inch. So you just pull out your tape measure, mark right at 1 inches. And then when you slide it into the SharkBite fitting, you want to make sure it gets almost right up to that black mark on the pipe. Of course, you want to make sure that the pipe is, you know, cut straight, that there's no burrs or anything. There shouldn't be on PEX, especially if you just cut it freshly. But otherwise, it's real simple. You just go into the fitting and you can kind of twist it, but you put some pressure on it and you can see just like that, you'll feel it get to a stop. And then you can see it is just almost right up to that mark right there. And so now I know that the pipe is properly inserted into the SharkBite fitting. And then I'll mention just a couple other install details to finish out the project. The first is you want to make sure that all your pipes and fittings and everything is secure, because you know, when you take the RV out on the road, everything's gonna be bouncing and shaking. You don't want these pipes bouncing where it could cause fatigue on any of the joints, especially with the SharkBite fittings, where it could then, you know, cause that to fail in the future. So you'll notice that I've got everything secured nicely so that nothing can, you know, shake even while we're in transit. And then another nice little detail right here is this cutout here where I have the PRV. So this was from the factory, just a straight, you know, piece of wood right here. And I really like to be able to get quick access, especially if there's a leak or something. And so I always appreciate in RVs when they have an access panel like this by your wet bay. And so I just made a cutout right here and then took a piece of clear plexiglass with some magnets and used that for this. And it just gives you a nice, you know, quick way to look in there and see what's going on, and it just makes it a lot quicker than trying to unscrew everything and pull out that whole sheet of plywood. All right, well, I think that's just about all the install details. Guys, if I left anything out, definitely drop me a question below. And by the way, I will include affiliate links to all the different products I've shown you, the PRV, the water filter, and everything else down below, so I appreciate you using those affiliate links to help support the channel. But I wanted to close the video out by talking about, are there any cons? I wanted to give you the full picture. Are there any cons to putting a PRV permanently inside your RV, let alone one with SharkBite fittings, right? And so one con just to consider is that if you're at a campsite and there is 120 PSI water coming out of the pedestal, out of the spigot at the campground, then that's going to be running through your water hose, and that 120 PSI is going to be going into your RV and all the way up to where the actual PRV is mounted. And so there is going to be technically high pressure running into your RV. It's a short distance, but there are some fittings there, and that's just something to think about. I mean, with PEX and the standard little crep ring fittings, I mean, I think they're rated well over 150 PSI, so it shouldn't really be a concern from a technical standpoint. But guys, being completely candid with you, since I've been testing this for the last 9 months, there have been a few campsites that I've gotten to where there was, I think one was 140 PSI, and just out of precaution, I did take a portable kind of a backup PRV that I have here, and I put it on the actual campsite pedestal because I just thought, well, that's pretty high water pressure, you know, running through the hose and everything into the RV. So that is one con to talk about. And then last con I can think of is that by me relocating the PRV and the water filter, you know, putting it inside my RV here, I've added additional fittings, additional points where if something were to go wrong, things could leak inside my RV, as opposed to keeping everything, you know, outside. If any of this leaks, it's no big deal because it's outside the RV. So I do think that is something to consider. Although I will say, I think if all the fittings, you know, whether it's SharkBite or the conventional PEX crimp or clamp rings there, I think if they're installed properly, then that risk is pretty small. I mean, like I said, this is the 4th or 5th RV that I've done this specific mod and upgrade on it, and I've never had one leak or fail even after, you know, thousands of miles. But yet I can think back to, you know, 15-20 years ago when I was first doing some DIY plumbing, and I would get leaks from time to time because I was learning how to properly, you know, do all that. So I do think that is a big part of it. But on that note, one last tip, and really this is just cheap insurance. I've got probably a half dozen of these throughout the RV. These are little leak detectors from Govee. And so I've got one here, one on the opposite side of this wall, another one under the kitchen sink, another one under the bathroom sink, you know, just places where I might have a slow leak, a drip of some kind. And these will audibly alert me in the event that happens. And so I think these are just, you know, cheap insurance, basically, very handy for RVers. Well, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If I left any details out, definitely drop me a comment below. And again, I appreciate you using the affiliate links to help support the channel. As always, thanks for watching.